back in the day, this is quite a few years ago now, I was an educational assistant. Now, I worked with at-risk youth, so to a certain degree, I was a glorified babysitter. These kids really didn't get a whole lot of work done. They were mostly trying to get one over on the teacher or the EAs or whatever, so we were pretty much just maintaining some sort of semblance of order and decency within the class. Now, for a while, I was on the sub list, which meant I wasn't really working at a school. I went to a variety of schools, and I might be there for a week, I might be there for a day, but perfectly honest, I didn't know these kids very well. So because I didn't know these kids very well, I had to have certain policies in place to keep things safe. And one of them was I didn't play sports with them. Didn't make sense to me to get into competition with kids who had behavior problems that I didn't know. So I just sit in the sidelines. So one day I'm at the school, and there's an EA was sick, and I was replacing him, and there was another EA that generally worked in the class, and we had to go to gym, so I just sat in the bleachers. I wasn't going to play, and I told the other EA why, and he said that made sense. So I'm sitting there, and one of the kids gets fouled out, loses his mind on the other EA, starts swearing and screaming. Well, the next thing you know, the EA is saying, okay, you need to go sit with Mr. H. So this kid comes over and sits with me, and he's sitting there steaming. And this is just me. I'm probably not always the smartest guy in the world, and I kind of said, I did say, man, you're stupid. Oh, he turned to me, well, you can't call me stupid. And I said, why not? And he goes, because I'm not dumb. And I said, oh, I didn't call you dumb. I said, you're stupid. And he goes, what's the difference? And I said, well, I'm glad you asked, because there is a difference. Dumb is like mute. Dumb means you can't. Like if I'm dumb, I can't speak. So if you're dumb, that means you cannot know the information. But I think you could learn information. He's pretty smart. He goes, yeah, I am. I said, okay. You're not ignorant. That's another word. Ignorant means you just don't know. But did you know that if you swore at your EA, you're going to get kicked out? And he said, well, yeah. And you swore anyway? He said, yeah. And I said, well, that's what stupid is. Stupid is knowing better and doing it anyway. He goes, you're right. I am pretty stupid. That was hilarious. And I said, okay, listen, you want to make things right? You want to go get back in the game? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. Now, what you need to do is go apologize. Say, Mr. V, I think it was. I'm sorry, I lost my temper. I shouldn't have, and I was wrong, and I apologize. Will you forgive me? Just say that. And when he says yes, you turn around and you come back to me. And he goes, well, I want to play. And I said, don't worry. Just you turn around and come back to me. So he went, I watched him. He went and said his thing. Turn around, come back to me. And then he got halfway, and the EA said, Stephen, I think you're ready to come back in. And he went to play. It was interesting. Anyways, stupid. It's a word that a lot of times we're afraid to use, but I think to a certain degree, maybe we should use it a little bit more, because we can be stupid. A lot of times with God, it's not that we don't know God's word. It's not that we don't understand his instruction. It's not that these kind of things are out of our realm of consideration, contemplation, and understanding and capacity to follow. We just decide not to. We say, you know what? It's more important to me to do what I want to do than do what God tells me to do. And then we wonder, why do we get in trouble? Why do things go wrong? Why do things not work out? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, because you're stupid. You're just like Sean. You're just like me. It's like everybody else. We have a tendency, instead of doing what God calls us to do and what we know to do, we decide to strike out on our own and do whatever it is we feel like doing. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that does not work. That's pretty stupid. And the fact is that we know it only makes it worse. So we got to stop getting upset with God for things that we do and start recognizing that God calls us to a life that helps us to avoid pain and suffering. And if we obey him, we'll live that life. We'll live that life that is honoring to God, and we'll live that life that begins to see how God is working and what God is doing. And honestly, it'll be a lot better for us. So, I guess, and just to sum it up, don't be stupid. Listen to what God says. Just do it. Life will be a lot easier. God bless you. Bye for now.